Ducati is a company that loves tradition, and one of their long-standing traditions is to build specialty exclusive motorcycles. They've had S models and R models, and more recently they've had the Superleggera, that is Italian for super light. They did it with the V-twin Panigale and now the V4R, which was already a pretty exclusive, pretty specialty motorcycle. That is the homologated 998cc bike that they built basically for racing. It is of course street legal, as is the V4 Superleggera, but they use that platform and they have basically enhanced every aspect of the motorcycle. It is lighter, it is more powerful, and it is definitely more expensive. Let's talk about some numbers. So it is $100,000 to buy this bike, and there are only going to be 500 made, so not a lot of them out there. It's supposed to be 35 pounds lighter than the V4R that it's based off of, and they've accomplished that using a lot of incredible technologies and materials. Primarily, a lot of carbon fiber. This bike uses it everywhere. So you've got the forward frame made out of carbon fiber, the subframe made out of carbon fiber, the swing arm made out of carbon fiber, the wheels are carbon fiber, the bodywork is carbon fiber, you get it. If they can make it out of carbon fiber, they did. And Ducati is the only company to have a street legal production motorcycle that has a carbon fiber chassis. Even the suspension is lighter. It's Öhlins, but it is not the electronic Öhlins suspension. It is the static stuff that is usually preferred for people who are going to the racetrack, and it's using a titanium spring in the shock. So literally, whatever they could access, whatever they could do to make things lighter, they did it. In stock trim, ready to be ridden on public roads, the Superleggera is making 209 horsepower. However, the bike comes with a full race kit that includes a titanium Akrapovic exhaust. When you install that and you reflash the ECU, which Ducati will be happy to do for you, it bumps power to 234 horsepower. On this bike, the winglets are big, and they're supposed to be providing 110 pounds of downforce at 160 miles an hour. So the faster you go, the more downforce it creates. So it helps prevent it from wheeling when you're accelerating. It forces the bike against the ground so you have more stability while you're on the brakes. And overall, it's simply supposed to make the bike feel more anchored, more stable, more composed. I have to say that riding it back to back with the V4R, there was in fact a noticeable difference. So Laguna Seca has the straightaway, turn one is at the crest of a hill and going to the left, and you are at the top of fifth gear, close to wide open throttle. And almost every bike is gonna wheelie, it's gonna wobble, it's gonna be pretty damn terrifying. On the R, I got a little bit of that. On the Superleggera, I did not get any of that. So that is right there, the aerodynamics doing their job, keeping that bike planted. I also felt it leaving turn 6, going up towards the corkscrew, which on the R would wheelie and buck and kind of do that classic Ducati pump. On the Superleggera, it was stable. I was able to hold the throttle and accelerate up the hill. So there's a clear, noticeable difference in the way the bike behaves at a high rate of speed. So riding this motorcycle was pretty overwhelming, frankly. I mean, it's very intimidating to ride something that's this fast and this valuable and this exclusive. I think I had it at wide open throttle maybe twice every lap, but regardless, the engine makes incredible power everywhere in the rev band, and it does in fact rev extremely high. That was probably one of the hardest things for me to adapt to, was how readily it made power, how quickly it revved, and how high it revved. So it's got a 15,250 RPM redline, which is just unbelievable for a 1,000cc engine. So this is the latest and greatest from Ducati. This is them exercising all of their technological know-how, all of their passion to basically build the most exquisite high-performance motorcycle they have ever created. So hopefully this video gives you a glimpse of this unbelievable motorcycle. And if you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section and we will do our best to answer them. Thanks for watching. Survived my warm-up session on the V4R. That's actually what they put us out to get warmed up on, the 209 horsepower bike, and then went out on the Superleggera and thankfully survived. It was a very wild ride, but while I'm here, I can at least start the bike up for you. Everyone else is eating lunch, so they're probably gonna come over and tell me to stop, but we'll do it real quick.